Welcome to Barbara's Bulletin, the podcast where we bring you the latest news and updates from around the world. I'm your host, Barbara, and I'm excited to share today's top stories with you. We start with a significant development in international relations and security. According to reports, the United States has carried out an airstrike against Islamic State militants in northwest Nigeria. This operation was conducted at the request of the Nigerian government, with U.S. President Donald Trump confirming the strike on social media. The U.S. firm Semple Military's Africa Command stated that the strike was aimed at targets in Sokoto State and resulted in the death of multiple ISIS militants. The reasoning behind this strike, as provided by President Trump, is that the Islamic State group has been targeting Christians in the region, an assertion that adds a layer of complexity to the already delicate situation in Nigeria. It's worth noting that Nigeria's population is roughly divided between Muslims living primarily in the north and Christians in the south. The Nigerian government has emphasized that armed groups target both Muslims and Christians, suggesting a more nuanced security situation than what might be inferred from the U.S. claims of targeted persecution against Christians. This strike comes on the heels of President Trump's warnings about an existential threat to Christianity in Nigeria and his administration's pledge to take action. The operation also follows recent intelligence-gathering flights by the U.S. over parts of Nigeria, indicating a build-up towards this military intervention. The implications of this airstrike are multifaceted, involving both domestic Nigerian politics and international relations, particularly between the U.S. and Nigeria. It underscores the ongoing challenges in combating terrorism worldwide and the strategic partnerships being formed or strengthened to address these threats. Nigeria's President, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has called for peace, especially among individuals of differing religious beliefs, reiterating his commitment to protecting all Nigerians from violence. This message highlights the internal efforts within Nigeria to manage its diverse population and mitigate conflicts. As we continue to monitor this situation, it's clear that the dynamics at play are complex and involve both local and international factors. We will keep a close eye on developments in Nigeria and their broader implications for global security and religious freedom. We'll be right back with more of today's top news on Barbara's Bulletin. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we continue our exploration of current events around the world, we turn our attention to Japan, where two significant stories are unfolding. First, the country has made history with the appointment of its first woman prime minister, Sanae Takaichi. This milestone is not only a step forward for women's rights in Japan, but also presents an immediate challenge for her government, tackling violence against women. The Japanese parliament recently passed sexual assault law reforms that raised the age of consent from 13 to 16 and expanded rape definitions to include consent-based standards, effectively criminalizing marital rape. However, the implementation of these reforms is where the real work begins. The gap between legal reform and institutional response is substantial, and how Takaichi's government addresses this gap will be crucial in defining whether her historic appointment translates into substantive progress for women's safety. In another part of Japan, a different kind of crisis is emerging, one that reveals deeper issues related to the country's demographic decline. A growing bear crisis has resulted in unexpected confrontations between humans and wild bears, claiming more lives than any other security threat Japan has faced this year. This crisis not only highlights the challenges posed by Japan's aging population, but also exposes bureaucratic rigidity and complicates government countermeasures. The loss of personnel and skill sets, combined with the absence of legal frameworks and equipment needed to address this problem, underscores the complexity of issues that Japan is facing. As we watch these stories unfold, it's clear that Japan's first woman prime minister has a significant task ahead of her in tackling not just violence against women, but also the broader societal challenges that are coming to the forefront. Welcome back to Barbara's Bulletin. As we wrap up today's show, we're taking a closer look at the ongoing situation in Ukraine. Recent reports indicate that Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to meet with U.S. President Donald Trump in the coming days, as part of a continued push for a peace deal between Kyiv and Moscow. This meeting follows a flurry of diplomatic talks among U.S., Russian, and Ukrainian envoys, although it's unclear whether a breakthrough will be reached. Putin has shown few signs of softening his demands, including his insistence that Ukraine hand over the entire eastern Donbas region as part of any peace deal. Despite this, Zelensky has expressed openness to withdrawing heavy forces from parts of Donbas, provided Russia mirrors the move as part of a U.S.-backed initiative to create a free economic zone in the region. The Kremlin has also signaled a potential willingness to exchange small areas of land in Ukraine's northern Kharkiv and southern Zaporizhia regions. Meanwhile, on the battlefield, Ukrainian forces have made rare gains, pushing Russian troops out of the city of Kupiansk in the Kharkiv region. This development undermines Putin's claims that the city was under Moscow's control and highlights the ongoing complexity of the conflict. As the situation continues to unfold, it's essential to remain informed and engaged. We'll be keeping a close eye on developments and bringing you updates as more information becomes available. That's all for today's Barbarous Bulletin. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, stay engaged.